Well, I didn't hear anything from Marshall, so we will get started. It is 6:30 and I'll call the meeting to order. So I'd welcome everyone to the City of Warman regular meeting of council on this 8th day of February 2021. I now call this meeting to order. First of all, with announcements, I'll start with one that I have. Let's see. First of all, want to welcome our new Economic Development Officer, Brendan Gasmo. If you could turn on your camera, Brendan, as they say a couple words. With a degree in marketing and extensive experience in sales and marketing from Brandon, Manitoba, as well as with the Saskatoon Blades, Brendan will be a great asset to the City of Warman EDO role. Welcome, Brendan, to our team. Side note, I'd like to mention is previously Brendan had worked for the City of Warman as Deputy City Clerk. He did such a great job. We don't have that spot anymore, so we could not fill it with anyone else. And he's also eager to be back and contribute to the City of Warman. I actually know Brendan from way back too. He is a Warman High alumni, so graduated from Warman High School. So it's great to see somebody that goes and tries out Manitoba for a while and then comes back to Warman and looking to build their roots here in Warman. So Brendan, welcome to the City of Warman and a part of the team.
Thank you, Mayor Philipchuk.
I'll give you a chance to say a few words.
Sure. Yeah, so like Gary, Mayor Philipchuk had said there, just, yeah, kind of originated from Manitoba, but this place is special to me. It just, in the sense that, I became a man in Warman, so special to me, and I look forward to both working with all of council and hearing from you, and my door is always open. I know, can't stress that enough. I always want to hear from you guys, as well as keep the lines of communication open on what, myself and City Manager Bob will be working on. But yeah, if you ever have any questions, I'll send out an email probably tomorrow, just again, introducing myself. You guys have my contact, cell number, anything like that. But I look forward to working with you, and thank you for welcoming me aboard.
Thank you, Brendan. And so I actually saw a post that he was saying goodbye to his job with the Saskatoon Blades here, with marketing with them on Friday and looking to start here on Monday, which is today. So welcome, Brendan. So with that, let's move down to any other announcements first. Anybody have announcements? Okay, we'll move down for a motion to approve the agenda. Councillor Peterson.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the February 8th, 2021 regular meeting of council agenda as presented.
Seconder. Councillor Johnson. Anything else? Any additions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Carried. Move down to minutes. Motion, please. Councillor Ramage.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the minutes from the January 18th, 2021 Committee of the Whole meeting and the January 25th, 2021 regular meeting of council as presented.
Seconder, Councillor Seed. Okay. Any questions or comments about the minutes? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor? Carried. We will move down to administration reports, and we have recreation community services manager. McGonigal, thank you.
Good afternoon or good evening, Mayor Philipchuk, members of council. I bring two items tonight to council. The first is we are looking to have a continuation of the rental relief at the vendors at the Legend Center and the retail space at the Diamond Arena. We're looking to have all four of those spaces continue on with the resolution that came from the September 29th, 2020 meeting of council, which was to have their rental rates at 50% for the next 3 months is what we're recommending.
Somebody willing to put their name to that motion? Councillor Beck.
Yes, so I'd like to make the motion that council authorize administration to adjust the leases of Subway, Booster Juice, Twinsies, and KB Sports to reflect a decrease in the amount of 50% of the current rate of lease as per their agreements for the months of February, March, and April 2021, where at such times the lease agreements will be reviewed again.
Seconder? Councillor Johnson. Questions, comments? Councillor Seed?
Thank you, Mayor Philipchuk. Just two things, just in the wording there to make sure it's correct. 50% reduction of the current rates should actually be 50% of the agreed to lease rates, correct? Because they're already paying 50% less.
Yes, that's correct.
Just more, symptomatic. And secondly, I would expect, of course, that if something miraculous happens and all of a sudden the world is perfect next week, that this would be subject to review. Would that be correct? Or would we
That's
just
correct.
keep on with the April 21st or April 2021?
We'll revisit that if it opens up, if the regulations open up a little bit more. But from what we're hearing right now, it's not going to open back up.
No, I agree. I just wanted to make sure that if something does happen that, we've gone, I think we're doing a good job of supporting them. I just want to make sure that it would be open for review again. So thank you.
That's correct.
Other questions or comments? I just have one, and that is, what do we usually do with summer rates? Because I know that it's fairly quiet in the building at that time. Do we have a summer rate that we give them already?
Yes, we do. Most of those businesses have a multiple, and it's built into their lease right now, where it's a current season, where the winter season is busier than the summer season. And with that, basically the rent falls to half of what they are. So they're paying right now, they're paying what they would normally in the summertime. And then if this continues on and we come back to the table again, we'll be looking at probably at some point in time, if it continues, of doing 50% of their summer rate.
Okay, so we might get right to September at that time. So it would be potentially looking at the summer rate at when this one comes due. Okay.
That's correct.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, we have a motion on the table. All those in favor? Carried.
The second item I bring tonight is from the library meeting minutes. They have been functioning without a board member since one of them resigned. Rick Hale's longtime member resigned. So within their meeting minutes, they've met and interviewed potential board members. And from their recommendation from their meeting minutes, they would like to have Teresa McHugh join their board.
Motion, please. Councillor Tooley.
Yeah, I'll make the motion that council approve Teresa McHugh as a board member of the Warman Public Library Board.
Seconder. Councillor Peterson. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Carried.
And that's it for me.
Thank you. We'll move down to council and committee reports. We'll start with my report. And it's there, fairly brief, but some things that are really trying to start to head down that theme of what our strategic plan and starting to look at big pictures, why Warman and why people are choosing Warman, and just what we're going to do as a council moving forward, just trying to make sure we keep some of those things in place and really put that as a part of our strategic plan. Conferences we're a part of right now. Any questions for my report? Okay, hearing none, a motion to accept my report. Councillor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to make the motion that the mayor's report for February 8th, 2021 be filed as presented.
Seconder, Councillor Ramage. Any final comments? Hearing none, Councillor Seat.
Just to reiterate, going forward, it would be with the RCMP as well, is that I would like to see some more specific reports for the city of Warman included in future reports. But I think that that's been covered, but just so that it's noted. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with you that, and again, that'll hopefully come down with their report. We have a new staff sergeant is coming through in the middle of the month. So all those things hopefully will fall into place, what we're looking for as we move into that, into that path.
Agreed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All those in favor? That's my report. Carried. Okay, council roundtable. Well, we will start with Councillor Tooley.
Thank you, Worship. Don't really have a lot to report on. It's been relatively quiet the last few weeks. The only thing that really I've got going on right now is just the Municipalities of Saskatchewan Conference, which started yesterday, and then moving into today as well. I really appreciated hearing the keynote speaker this morning, Kendall Netmaker. I think he's got a tremendous message and very, very well-spoken individual, and it was a pleasure hearing him this morning. Outside of that, format is a little different this year, and definitely not the most optimal way, I think, to be doing that particular conference. But I think it is what it is for this year, and hopefully we'll be back to a little bit more semblance of normal next year. And yeah, just kind of missed, last night I was watching the Super Bowl at home, and I know I missed sort of the opportunity that we've had the last few years where we've gotten together as a council and watched that. So that was a little bit of a loss for me last night. So, but that's about it. Thank you very much.
Well, at least Brady kept winning, so you have that tradition to continue. We'll move to Councillor Ramage.
Thank you, Mayor Philip Chuck. Continuing with the MuniSask virtual conference, there were some takeaways even from the first day when we were doing the backstage with Doug Griffiths. And he was, I think this ties into our strategic planning session that comes up, and that part of the legacy of a council is having a community that shares in that vision that's developed through the strategic planning session. So I think this will be a really good opportunity to set that direction and set some of that vision and be able to share that with the community moving forward. Some takeaways from Kendall Netmaker's keynote presentation this morning was adjusting and adapting. And I think there's lots of examples of that over the last year, but also being engaged and listening. And for me, my takeaway was, how do I, as a counselor, demonstrate being engaged and listening to the community? Moving on to some other things, I've been reviewing the transportation master plan, and I'll be circulating some of a small report for councillors to consider at the committee of the whole. If there's support to have that, I think there's an opportunity to open up that discussion again. So that's some of the things that I've been working on, but I'll be providing further information on that after our meeting tonight.
Thank you, Councillor Ramage. Councillor Peterson.
Well, there was the business task force hadn't met, and I guess our next meeting's coming up, so there's not a whole lot for me to report on at this time.
Councillor Seed.
Thank you, Mayor Filipchuk. Just a couple of things of note. I've also enjoyed somewhat the Saskatchewan urban municipalities. There's definitely been a few glitches, but I think that we're all having a good time with it and getting through them as a group. A couple points of note. I wanted to just pass on some accommodations to the Warman Fire Rescue. Last Monday, I was one of the first people on the scene of a very serious accident that happened here in Warman. And I just got to say, I was absolutely stunned at how fast Warman Fire was there. I think it's something that we just take for granted all the time. I mean, it was very, very cold. It was miserable conditions, and these guys, men and women, are out there no matter what, always answering that call. So I just think it's something that we take a little bit for granted. With regards to the keynote speaker today, I've had opportunity to hear him speak a couple of times. And one of the things that I took away from it that I think is awesome, and I hope it's something that we can all embrace, is as somebody that grew up also in a First Nations family, is that it doesn't matter where we're from, it doesn't matter who you are, it's what we want to do together going forward. And I think that was a really powerful thing to hear somebody say, and I hope it's something that we can all embrace as a council and as a city to just keep moving forward with that. So beyond that, looking forward to our new staff sergeant coming on. Hopefully we can mold him to our ways, and we'll be done with it. So thank you.
Well said about Kendall Netmaker there. Councillor Johnson.
So it's been fairly quiet for me. I was unable to attend my Prairie Rivers reconciliation meeting on Tuesday, but was able to talk with Aaron Legg to get caught up on what I missed. One of the things that I was able to kind of coordinate was through our division, that I'm hoping that the grade 7 students from across Living Sky School Division will be able to attend Kyle Charles' presentation to the committee. And he is an Indigenous cartoonist that has been signed on with Marvel Comics to spread Indigenous voices. And so I was able to touch base with the committee, and I'm hoping at the very least my students will be able to watch and see someone who looks like them and who is experiencing great success and has come from minimal means and made a name for himself. So that is something that I'm super proud of. I too have enjoyed listening to Kendall Netmaker, quite a bright young man, and has got a bright future for sure, and is very well spoken and had a great message today, especially with the inclusive community. I quite enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from him. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Johnson. And we'll move to Councillor Beck.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mayor Filipchuk. So yeah, certainly, the dominating focus of attention here for the last little while has been the Municipalities of Saskatchewan Convention. Certainly this year, as you have seen, we have had a few technical glitches. Certainly with our was it 961 members that that are registered this year, with being on let's say with more than one device and things like that. It's certainly been a little bit challenging for for the platform there. But certainly in terms of some of the announcements to make, let's say on behalf of municipalities of Saskatchewan today. This year we do have a new president. So this year, Roger Hayward he's the mayor of Nacum. He is our new president. We also have, so the position that he leaves was the VP of Towns. So we have a new VP of Towns, and that is Mayor Rennie Harper she's the mayor of Nipawin. And then Mike Strachan remains the VP of Villages. So, with this year, he's the mayor from Torquay. So, so certainly we had those developments here today. We get to the resolution session tomorrow. I'm prepared to chair that particular event. Bob Hawkins, he's not available, so I step into that position. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. I will say that on the horizon here, next week, there's a planned Remembrance Day a committee meeting, and I believe myself and Doug Ramage will be attending that, and that's to certainly look at say some of the correspondence that the council had received over here. Just towards the end of 2020. So we'll be looking at that. So going into that meeting this year, I'd probably like to speak with Doug and just see if we can maybe just roundtable some some conversation, and then if we need to reach out to our fellow councillors for direction going into that we can certainly do that. So I'd like to touch base with you later, Doug, and I'll certainly be passing that on to Mayor Philipchuk and see if we can get some priorities from councils on, let's say on that discussion point. So that's all that I have for now, and obviously following the convention we'll have the full summary.
Definitely some full days here with the convention, and by all means, even if it's more than one meeting with the Remembrance Day, that's fine. So if some of the things come and there's discussion, by all means, we can do a roundtable at a committee of the whole meeting also, so we can have the opportunity to speak. As I think this is a chance to really take a look at it right now and get everybody's voice. We did miss that we were supposed to have a motion to accept admin reports. So I'm going to go back just to our admin reports. If somebody could make that motion to accept admin reports. Councillor Peterson? You're on mute.
I'll get used to that eventually. I'd like to make the motion that we accept the administration reports as presented.
Seconder for that motion. Councillor Ramage? Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. Okay, we're going to move down to correspondence, and we'll start with a long motion first, and then we'll talk about each one of those as needed. So somebody to make a motion? Councillor Ramage?
I make the motion that the RCMP Warman Martensville Mayor's Report from January 1st, 2021 to January 19th, 2021, the letter to Shreda Regional Members 2021, and the Shreda Regional Member Package 2021 have been received by Council on February 8th, 2021, and are to be filed as presented.
Seconder for that motion? Councillor Johnson? Any questions about the RCMP reports? We'll start with first. Anything from that, Councillor Johnson?
I was just looking at the numbers, like the speeding, like there was 24 people charged, and like, is this higher than normal? Is this something that we're expecting to go down, or is this an abnormal month with 24 charges for speeding and 6 impaired charges? Is this normal, higher, lower? Do we know?
And that would be a question that we would ask our staff sergeant during our committee of the whole. So it's tough. It's a tough one for any of us to sort of take that on that way.
Okay.
But definitely something we can pass on, and City Manager Smith can pass that on if there's some changes in that way. Councillor Seed?
It is something to note there as well, Councillor Johnson, that this is also for Warman and Martensville. It's not just within the city of Warman. And typically, based on the experience that I've had of looking at these reports over several years, you do see a spike, unfortunately, in December and January with regards to impaired charges. But generally, it's because of the fact that there's a lot more roadside sobriety check stops set up and things of that nature. So I didn't look at it and see it as alarming, to be honest.
Other questions about that one? We'll move down to Sarita. Any of the Sarita? I actually have a board meeting. I'm the chair of the regional one, and we're starting to hear some local people getting some of the money in our area. So I don't know a lot about it myself. I know Mayor Spence was the chair in the past of the Sarita Regional, and which allows you to be on the Sarita board. So I'm going to probably learn a bit more and give more complete reports, as I have not been to one of their meetings yet. So nothing there. Good information, and I'm hoping to get a lot out of that. So that's all we have then. Any other questions about anything from the reports? Okay, hearing none then, all in favor of filing? Carried. Move down to other reports. Turbidity report. Motion. Councillor Peterson.
I'd like to make the motion that council approve the January 2021 turbidity report as presented.
Seconder. Councillor Johnson. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. We'll move down to accounts. Motion, please. Councillor Tooley.
I would like to make the motion that council approve the city accounts as presented by checks numbered 24603 to 24733 for the total amount of $610,696.25, and the payroll vouchers numbered 013021 to 013121 in the amount of $92,893.28 for February 8th, 2021.
And seconder for that. Councillor Seed. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. And a motion to adjourn. Councillor Tooley.
I will make the motion to adjourn the February 8th, 2021 regular meeting of council.
Seconder. Councillor Seed. All those in favor? Carried. Well, that was a quick meeting. Thanks, everyone. I know we had a long day starting at 8 o'clock this morning, but we didn't have to get ourselves down to TCU Place. So usually we would have been leaving at 7 o'clock and trying to find a parking spot downtown. So back at it tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I look forward to chatting along the way as we did today. So have a great evening. Thanks.